overall 20 years of experience, like 20 plus. And Infosys is my third company. I started my career as a software developer in the mobile space. My first company is Kyocera Wireless India, that is in Bangalore. Then my second company, I served there almost like 4 years. Then I switched to another telecom company that is called as Sasken, and from that I worked almost like 4 years for Samsung. That is a South Korean mobile manufacturing giant, and they have also the electronics. Uh, you might be all are actually familiar. So then I joined actually Infosys, and I come back to Bhubaneswar during the COVID time to settle here. So that's a brief about me. So let's uh, from the career guidance perspective. So I don't want to go actually the deep dive. I know so earlier this MCA course was actually 3 years, and there was a 6 months of the project experience. People like all our uh, the friends who used to go and work as some kind of the intensive project. But I think now the curriculum has been shortened to 2 years, and I'm not sure if you guys have the project as a semester. Milan, can you confirm? Do you have uh,
Eh, eh, Sorry, sir, in fourth semester, there is one project, sir.
project? Okay, okay. So that is good. So this IT industry has been changing, and it's like as you are doing MCA, it's equivalent to the postgraduate in computer science and application. So we can say actually world of opportunities are actually there. It's not actually so restricted that you would be working in your like location, like your the district or your state or your country. You will get actually opportunities across the world. So uh, opportunity wise, it is so huge, and at the same time, it has also like a lot of the challenges, right? You can say the job security and the technology changing every day, so day by day, and it's actually we need to enable ourselves always continuous learning and continuous development so that we can sustain like in this on the market. So at the same time, like it is challenging, and it is also compensation everything. This is also like kind of it's like rewarding also, and you can also in comparison to the government jobs, right, which is actually very competitive, and the opportunities are also like less. So in this field uh, you can get the job also like easily, right? And we have like multiple technologies you can learn, get the certification, and do a job. Then you learn another the technology, and you can switch, right? So so it is actually kind of a the mix. So and uh, as you have almost joined around 81 mm, like, students, right? So the way we can say the five fingers are not equal. So like everybody is actually unique, and everybody has the different kind of the passion. They have the different kind of the goals. So okay, so what I would actually suggest is before we start our the career planning, I will just give you kind of a generic, and from that each of you can actually introspect yourself first. Try to understand who you are, what is your core strength, what is your core capability, and based on that, you can actually customize like how you want to like fly, uh, like after your course is getting like completed. See, the course that you might be studying now, that will only give you kind of an entry. Okay, you might be studying operating system. You may be knowing two, three the languages. You may be knowing little bit of the database. You might be knowing some portion of the data structure, and you might be knowing some concept of artificial intelligence, operation research, software engineering. So this will give you kind of a like a theoretical perspective and what the industry is. But once you enter, so then your the path will be like streamlined, right? So being said that, so what we need to do is actually aligning like our the goals with our actually the opportunities, right? So mm, so if you see actually like mm, as I actually the mention, like we need to understand our actually strength and the interest, and adapting ourselves actually to the industry trends, how the industry is actually the moving. So as for example, like so if I can say is when I started my career, like we have actually like the keypad phones, the technology that we use actually like CDMA, then it moved to actually GSM, right? At that time, Kyocera, LG, Samsung, like these are actually like the CDMA, the players. Then after that, so Nokia had already like dominated the market. Before the Nokia also, so Motorola also means like dominated. Then when like Nokia was dominated, we didn't think that there will be some players that will come and completely like so beat actually no, so Nokia. Sorry, just a second. I joined from the phone. Okay. So then, so Nokia was using actually the operating system as Symbian, right? So then to defeat that, then Google came up with actually Android, right? And Android has completely changed actually the mobile space. So Nokia is entirely out, and players like Samsung, and then actually Apple also came, and then all the smartphones, these are actually coming. So from there actually we used to actually C, then C++, then somewhere bit of like the Java, and then uh, we have this Android, iOS. So in the mobile space also there are like so many the technologies also came. So there are actually um, the technologies like Angular, React, and Titanium. So those are actually kind of some cross-platform technology that also you no need to use actually the native apps. You can use once and you can the deploy both in actually Android phones and even also the iOS phones, right? So and then the coding is becoming like easy, right? C was actually tough, C++ object oriented concept. So that was also a little bit tough. Then the JavaScript came. Then actually the Python is actually so coming, right? So earlier we are actually used to write actually the libraries, but now all the libraries are actually there. You should know actually what each of the library does. And and now like you are in that era actually the artificial intelligence era, where actually if you open your editor, if you can say like Eclipse or your the Visual Studio Code, already AI plugin is there. You will find your AI buddy. Okay, you just actually write some prompts, and they will actually instantly, they will give you actually some 80, 90% accurate code, right? So then actually what will be your job? Your job is actually you need to validate, and like you should be knowing actually like your the concept, everything should be so clear that you can only like sign up. Okay, whatever AI has given, that is in the proper quality standard, everything is correct, and you need to validate, and you need to just it's like sign up. So so nowadays, actually, the job of the developer is actually going to be like easy. So, so that is also kind of a like a good. At the same time, it is also like a challenge, right? Challenge in the sense like mm, um, we need to actually improve ourselves, right? We need to be little bit more actually smart enough, um, and and then at the same time, so if you see actually like every company, they used to have their own actual infrastructure, right? But now like so cloud came, right? Cloud, like your uh, the leader in the cloud technologies is actually Amazon, or your Microsoft, or so Google also, right? Google also provide a Google Cloud Service, AWS, Azure, right? They have actually provided all the infrastructure and all, and as an organization owner, you need to actually customize based on your need. So as a software the developer, or as a IT professional, we should know actually how this cloud technology works, and how we can actually build the career in that, right? So 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 that I just actually am just highlighting so few things. So so it's like always we need to keep ourselves actually continuous learning, and we can actually build our the network, right? So mm so that is actually like from the career perspective. So so before we actually start thinking actually like um, so I just actually gave you some kind of like a highlight in the markets. But when you actually pass out from the college, what kind of the roles that you can play, or as a and what is your the next? So few might go for actually like you may like maybe interested like in academics or doing some research, so they can also like do that. So that is actually like your the teaching line. Then the second one we can say actually like most of the people like the software the development, right? So for the software the development, what do you need? You should be like your primary role would be programming, right? You should actually so write the code. So at least like I would suggest like each one of you, whatever is your interest, you should definitely keep one or two language. You should be actually like some mastery on, so that you decide. So it's nothing like all the 81 or 82 people, you will be actually so learning like Java, or everybody will do that based on your interest, whatever is there in your like curriculum, right? That you can teach, and you can actually so decide, okay, I will go with Java, or I will go with C++, or I will go with like Python, right? So that is actually the software the development the stream. There is also like in the trend the data science and AI, and even also like there is another the trending in the cyber security domain, and cloud, and the DevOps. So as for example, like Ajay actually mentioned like uh, people can start doing actually or think doing some certification in AWS or Azure. So DevOps means actually see. you might be knowing the software engineering, right? That software engine, like as a software developer, what we are going to do? We are actually trying to solve actually the business problem, right? So business problem means some company or some set of people, they have some kind of the problem and we need to fix that. We need to simplify their life by implementing some software, right? The way we see actually like our the banking system, right? The way we can see all the our automated system, like everything is getting like automated, right? So in every like module, like we are actually like the software making the life easy for a specified user. So that specified user, we call it as actually like the business, right? We need to understand our actually user base. So during that process, so there should be some people who will be doing actually the product management. So product management is what? Product management is they will understand the user problem and they need to actually streamline and they need to like divide into the user stories that need to be converted as a kind of like so those are kind of like the problem statements. So those actually need to be converted in a structured way that actually the development team they need to like they need to convert into the software, right? So in that product management you will have actually the business like analyst kind of role. Those see that may not actually so require actually the coding, that require actually like a good communication skill. You can actually interact with the users and gather actually the requirement that requires actually the documenting skill and explaining skill, right? So like few of the students they can opt also that kind of role, like like a business analyst kind of role, right? Who can actually do that? Like uh, from your actually group, who can think actually like they are actually very command over like the communication and good actually communication like the writing skill and explaining things, right? So they can also like focus in that area. Few people they are actually very actually like very talented, they are actually very good at like coding, right? They may not speak much, huh? But they are actually very good in like technical, right? They can actually opt for actually the software uh, the development. So in that software development also you will find actually the multiple roles, right? One is actually the software developers, right? Who will actually write the code, they will build the code and they will actually the deploy the code, right? So and there would be some people who would actually testing like test the things, right? We actually call them as QA, who can actually the certify whatever the developer they have developed that is complying with the business the requirement, like the BA whatever they have actually asked us to do. So the QA is actually so satisfying. So that is actually the quality control, right? So in the QA side also, the programming is also like required, and also the testing also like manual testing is also there, automation testing is also there. So few people can focus in that area also, right? So if that doesn't mean that all the 82 people they would be focusing on coding and all. Okay, so these are so in this session what I'm actually trying to say is these are actually the multiple roles that you can think of, that this role I can play. And here you can introspect yourself and you can think, and based on that you can actually aim for, right? Similarly, I was telling actually the DevOps, right? What actually the DevOps actually does? They actually they can they would be between actually the infrastructure team and the development team. They can create the pipeline, They can do the configuration, and they would be responsible for deploying the code, right? So, uh, so there is also the DevOps, like the role also. And apart from that, also, if also few people they're kind of rich, or they may not be rich, right? If they have a passion to play an entrepreneurship also, so they can also do, right? So as a whole, as you're the next step, what kind of the role that you can play? You can play actually academic role. You can play actually software the development that includes QA. You can be a data scientist. You can be a AI professional, or you can be cyber security or cloud, or into the product management or entrepreneurship, right? So uh, from the industry trend perspective, though I have already like touched upon. So in the current market, AI is a the buzzword, right? So artificial intelligence and the machine learning, right? These are actually the buzzword, and these will stay. So artificial intelligence has already there in the market, and I think based on my experience, whatever the last 1 year and currently now, all the clients they want actually to collaborate or to involve or align with actually artificial intelligence, right? Either through an editor or through like creating the documents, creating PPT and code reviews, everywhere it has in place. So artificial intelligence awareness. See, I'm not saying because you are currently studying, you may not go in depth, but at least before going to any job interview, all of you should be artificial intelligence aware. You should actually know what is actually there in the market, right? Or like, see, everywhere, like, so now in the internet, in the internet, everything is available, right? So at least the basic knowledge of the artificial the intelligence models, LLMs, and good number of the currently used artificial intelligence, the tools or models that you should know, right? And apart from that, artificial intelligence, there is actually the blockchain, quantum computing, IoT, and edge computing. So these are kind of the trends. At least you just have a basic knowledge on that. So you may not be go very deep into this, but out of these four, at least you you should be aware of one or two, right? So what is actually like our the technical and soft skills for success? See, like you would be working with a global delivery model, right? So you should be make yourself ready to open communication, right? And you might be working with the global clients. You might be working with the stakeholders with US, Europe, Australia, India. India also like pan India, like multiple states. So uh, always wherever you are, right? Like I like a proverb, like good, better, best. So never let it rest till your good is better and better is best. So wherever you are, always try to every day improve your communication skills, right? I am actually saying that doesn't actually mean that I have also like good communication, right? I am also like improving. So it is kind of a continuous learning process. You should keep actually like in the IT field, continuous learning and continuous improvement, CLCI. should be your keyword. The moment you are not learning, you will be outdated and you will be thrown out, right? So, so that we should actually see. I am not actually scaring. See, it's actually good, right? It's also like you would be having kind of a challenging, interesting work. You would be throughout your life, you would be like learning, right? It's, it's like new things. So that is good. And you should focus on the soft skills, right? If you're like introvert, so little bit try to be extrovert because you need to work as a team, right? Collaboration, how you can effectively collaborate, right? How we should be punctual, how we should be loyal. See, because like a team, like if I am a project actually manager, I don't need actually all of my people will be like extremely talented, right? If I am selecting like all the talented peoples, probably after 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, nobody would be there, right? So we should also means we no need actually see. So talented people are there, like it is actually good for the team. But in IT world, okay, if you see it in comparison to the government sectors, right? IT people they are actually changing the job actually frequently, right? That might be for new learnings or for better compensation for the better market uh, the demand. So you should be like we should be collaborative, right? We should be collaborative. There are like the soft skills that is so definitely so required, right? So focus on core technical skill means all of you should at least one primary language, one the database, right? Operating system, data structure, all the concepts. See, all the questions, answers, and all that you can actually like get it everything like through internet based on the different kind of the companies, right? And for the interview, all of you should actually drive your own actually story. See, like when for the freshers interview, right? Whoever is taking actually the interview, they know that you don't have any industry experience, right? And they don't expect also that, right? But at least see, it might be a 15 or 20 minutes interaction, or at max 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes interaction. So in that, actually, you need to drive whatever the areas that you know. So if actually somebody says somebody is good at actually the Java. So they can say actually like I love Java. My primary skill is actually the Java. So then the interviewer will actually ask you the Java based questions, right? And and I would suggest actually so um, for preparation, right? All of you start actually preparing like your profile and all of you should follow actually what you have written. Don't just actually so copy paste if somebody has done something. Okay? You should know actually what you have written for your profile and you should be confident enough on like what you have like written. Okay, so customize or personalize your profile with respect to yourself and always though in this also you can add actually like a project and in that that project you should also understand what you have done though you may not have done also, right? But at least for the interview preparation you should have a good story, right? Storyline for your the project because the interviewer might actually ask you what is the problem statement that you want to solve, right? You ask the questions to yourself, right? And imitate yourself what would be actually the answer. So you should actually so define the problem statement and for whom you are trying to like solve the problem. You should understand actually your user base, what are the technologies that is actually used, right? How many, and then that you can start actually so explaining like your project. So all of you, I should, and your profile in your initial career till you are actually like, see, like you are just kind of a seed, right? When you join the company, like you'll be like starting till 2 3 4 years of your job, right? Every week you start actually updating your profile and start adding some value to your profile, right? So that would actually give you like a better, like in a better place. So every day you have to actually like update your profile, and you need to uh, so you might be knowing, right? There are like multiple the platforms, platforms like the LinkedIn, or there are like all the job sites. Post it everywhere. And as we have actually created a group like this, alumni and all, okay, yeah, like I would suggest like all the like the 70 people like we are actually there, right? You create some small groups, and few groups they can actually collect actually all the companies those are like available like in the global see, we might be knowing only like 4 or 5 companies, right? Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and there might be few more. But you don't believe there are so many n number of companies, right? N number of companies are there, and each company they have also some kind of captive centers like in Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad. So we can also like as a kind of action item, I would suggest few of the members they can collate actually create a directory of all the companies. Apart from the job sites, we should also spend some time to go to the career portals for each of the company. We should like understand what each company they are actually working, what is their domain. We have like manufacturing domain, we have hospitality domain, we have energy, utility, mm, uh, the sectors, we have education sectors, right? We have all the sectors. This the technology is actually so required. You won't find actually like these kind of amount of jobs in any other field. So that's why people are more number of people are joining actually the computer science, right? So 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 that's the thing. See, I'm just actually like so talking, okay, whatever coming in my way, and that we are actually talking like the job market insights, right? So, see, like you may get actually the campus, and those who may not get the campus also, they no need to worry, right? So, like we should actually go to such a place where actually the job, the market is more. See, based on my experience, right? The Bhubaneswar market is not so professional or not so mature, right? In Odisha, right? I would suggest if actually people like they're not getting the job, you like build some team. Don't stay here. Go actually Bangalore. Few go to Bangalore. You go to Hyderabad. You go to Pune, right? At least you will see some exposure. And so now also we have also all this kind of like the freelancings, right? Freelancing sites also. Start doing some part-time jobs, right? No job is small or big. In your initial career, you start tr- creating actually the experience, right? And that experience you add to your profile and you upload. Well, the job market is pretty much like open, right? You will actually so definitely like get a call in IT, like If you have the right skills, you will get enough calls, right? And you need to think when when you want to actually so stabilize yourself, right? But initial 4, 5, 6, 7 years of your career, just be wild and always continuous learning and be open for everything. I would also like suggest, if you are not getting anything, do also work actually freely or start actually teaching. If you are not getting also students, like as I actually told you, like 4, 5 friends, you teach each other, right? So that your the knowledge base is actually increasing, right? So that's uh, that's some kind of uh, just covered that. So what else? And apart from that, okay, so see, like you might be already knowing that you may not have get some time, but whenever you have some time, I like see this AI hour or any kind of cloud actually technology, AWS, Azure, or mm, or Google, right? Yeah, have some certification, right? We have the learning platforms like Coursera or Udemy, right? Just browse it. You will get actually n number of courses, but you define your interest, and based on that interest, and you go. See, every field has actually like the job in this market. There is a job for the developer, there is a job for the tester, there is a job for the DevOps engineer, there is a job for the product owner, there is a job for the project manager also, right? So job is there, you need to choose your path. Okay. And so anyway, like we have actually the communities, right? Communities sometimes see, our alumni, they can actually guide, and if there is some openings, they will actually publish, like everybody is the respected companies, but we need to prepare ourselves, right? And uh, I would also suggest, some of you also start actually exploring the freelancing sites, right? And also, like if you have some time, also um, do some internal projects like in the college, right? What I was saying is, from now, see, because so this is your professional career. Unless and until somebody is interested for actually PhD and all these things, there might be very few, okay, who might be going for PhD or for the academics, but most of you might be entering into the industry oriented jobs, right? IT jobs. So I would suggest starting from now, you just think that you are actually doing a job, right? You may not be getting the salary, right? Maintain a discipline, and every day you think that 10 hours I need to work minimum, right? Minimum 10 hours I need to work. That includes like your studies or something. You just actually start actually creating that momentum. So you will see actually like you would be kind of like a job ready. Okay. So mm, I think I have covered actually whatever I could think of. So let me just summarize. We discussed about the roles. We discussed about um, like building a profile and updating it continuously week by week. We discussed about doing continuous learning and continuous improvement certifications. We discussed about the soft skills, and we discussed about market trends, right? I think that's it from my side. We can open for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? If you guys have any kind of questions, let's see, we can we can have a informal like, kind of a discussion, interactive.
Th- Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable insights. Now we will begin the question and answer session. I kindly request our MCA students to ask their questions one by one. So I would like to invite Mr. Sushant Das to please ask the first question, please.
Good evening, sir. Uh, as there are many MC second year students are here, and I will some of them are also introverts, and I will like to ask this question that what do recruiter actually look for interviews? Uh,
Uh, Introverts, right?
yes, sir. They might be very confused how to manage that session for
Ha,
interviews.
yeah, okay. So introverts, right? Okay. See, what we need to do is so as I mentioned, right? Mm, See, introvert, that's a quality that gradually, okay, gradually we need to improve, right? We have to think like, so that's why I told you, we have to first introspect, right? And sometime we need to actually see, we no need to think actually what others will think about me, right? It's actually the battlefields. I need to jump into that battlefield and I need to win, right? That kind of mindset that you should have, right? If you are thinking, okay, what others see, the introverts, they like always think how I speak or how I look or how I present, how the others people are thinking, right? So that we should actually we should not think. See, like in our hostel lives also, right? People used to like dominate, start actually commenting, right? And few people are getting actually suppressed. So as a total whole group, see, like so for that reason, I actually emphasize on actually the soft skills, right? It's our actually the societal, like it's a kind of a the societal issue, right? We should start actually encouraging everyone, right? And the see, like I could see it, like see the you mentioned. So this is the first meeting that you guys have arranged, but I'm so impressed that though 80 people have joined, but this is going very systematically, and everybody is in like in a muted state, and we are allowing each one of us actually to speak. So we should not interrupt. See, you should not be actually kind of a very fluent speaker. It's like if you go to like South Korea, if you actually first speak fluently English, they won't actually understand, right? And in your Indian accent also, if you go to actually US, they may not also like able to understand, right? So see, communication is nothing but who can speak actually stylish or different kind of English. Communication means how you can convey your thoughts, right? So, see, if you are thinking what others will think about me and all, right? Like it's kind of a special characteristic of introvert. They should actually come out of that. They should go as a kind of a winning. How I will win the battle and I will actually get the job. So in the interview, you should focus actually like the question and you answer it very crisp and clear. If you don't know something, say actually don't know, or you can actually say ki, see. So nowadays, so many things also we no need to know, right? We have so much assistant that can actually provide us. Like you ask actually the chat GPT, you ask actually so many things, but we should have that kind of the knowledge where to copy and where to paste or where to do that. See that confidence level that we need to definitely means like um, so build up. So who whoever is actually introvert, they need to little bit enhance. So that's what I'm saying. It's a continuous like continuous process, and as a group, we should encourage everyone, okay, to speak and to uh, share their thoughts.
Yes, sir.
That
Thank you,
answer?
sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, the interviewer, how he behaves and how which type of questions he might ask to the candidate. The candidates are very nervous, and on which part we should focus to get ahead.
Yeah. See, so I would suggest, so, okay, whenever you are going to the interview, right? The first thing is whatever you have prepared or not prepared, right? You think before entering into the room, you think that I am actually fully prepared and I will give my best. And you should have kind of a like internally, you should have a kind of a giving my best, and you should not be so much involved by thinking, okay, if I lose this interview, what will happen? So that will actually create a you will that will create actually more actually consciousness to yourself, so that you will become more actually the nervous. I would suggest you go as actually being casual without worrying whether you will get it or not, right? But your focus should be, I will give my best. And in that way, it's like what kind of questions actually they will actually ask, right? The interviewer also, see, like you might sometimes you might get some tough interviews, you might be doing actually very good, but you might get rejected. And sometimes also your interview go very simple, the interviewer may not ask you. And it also like depends upon the the attitude of the interviewer. But but in most of the cases, right, a good interviewer also make make the candidate actually comfortable, to feel comfortable, right? So you just like take your time, and everywhere, wherever you go, you get actually the first question: introduce yourself. And all of you should prepare that introduce yourself so well, and that would actually give you the path for the interviewer to ask actually the next question, right? So it's not like you should enable the interviewer how he can actually ask you the questions. So for see, like in your interview, you can actually give your like the introduction, and you can say like means my primary skill is like Java, so that I can start actually asking you like the Java related question. But if you actually keep something open ended, okay, and if you leave, see, you end up doing some thread where the interviewer will actually start that thread, right?
Yes,
Is that
thank you, sir.
answer?
Yes, thanks.
Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Kasinath or Rautrai to please go ahead with the next question?
Good evening, sir. My name is Kasinath Rautrai. Sir, many are suggesting me to improve skill, but if I am unable to sit in placement, then how will I show my skills? Sir, I have 3 years of drop after my plus two. My doubt is regarding how will I attend for placement, because most of the company don't allow to sit if we have drop more than 1 or 2 year. And sir, also sir, how will I manage my drop year in the interview process?
Okay, so drop here means you have some gap, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's the see, every company, okay, every company has actually their own selection process, right? So not all company they actually follow a strict draw for the gap analysis. But few companies they actually like ask, right? So if you go actually TCS, Infosys, and all these companies, Indian companies, they will get all the details, right? Year, pass out, and all. But apart from that, there are other companies, so that you need to that is because company cannot actually change their policy, right? So we should think about all these the freelancing or those opportunities that doesn't actually require, okay, that uh, they can actually consider gap. See, gap, I don't think all the companies, but it's individual company policy, right?
Yes, sir. Major company like TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Deloitte, and HCL, Tech Mahindra, all are considering about gap year.
Yeah, so gap year, but they might be asking actually what you have done in that gap year, right? If you have done some teaching or if you have done something that you need to mention. But I don't think, see, for a record, they want to keep it. So there is a gap what you are actually doing, right? So because the company also they need to see actually the history, like if some kind of um, illegal or so there are actually so many things that are actually so there. So they want to take actually like they want to get everything, and but that is not a criteria actually. You see, if you have the gap, you have to justify why there is a gap that you need to provide, and based on that, they need to take a call. Apart
Sir,
from that,
sir, I have taken drop for competitive exam like NEET JEE. Sir,
hmm,
how will I justify them if they think you are unable to clear those exams? So how will it be a bad influence, sir?
no, so it's not a bad influencer. See, always see, it actually so depends, right? So being honest is actually like few people like they like it, right? But if you are actually presently see, so that's why like this IT world, if you are proficient in any of the technologies, right? Or if you are actually aware of the niche technologies, right? So there are so many other companies, they don't care that. So, mm, so that's why I told this career planning is kind of a case to case basis, right? So your case may not be similar to other case. So you should approach like in a different way, right? So if you are feeling that if you feel that I am actually very good now, right? Means like forget about my past. I am actually very good proficient like in AWS, right? Amazon Web Service or the cloud. Hmm? And I am not actually getting opportunity for the entry. uh, I would suggest you focus on your career, focus on your current skill set. You forget about your past. Start actually creating some experiences and add to your profile, right? Add to your profile and start actually exploring all the freelancings jobs. Add actually more experience to your profile, and in IT world, when you become like 2, 3 years of experience, right? You are actually you are, the golden baby of the IT industry, right? And if you are able to solve, so IT is actually the best place that can actually absorb you. I have seen actually many instances, right? People have actually it's like come out You may not see these things also, like they are in the government sector also, right? Government sector is also like very strict, right? And in the government sector, we have so much the reservations, all these things, everything. So if we compare, so IT definitely we have some way. So I would actually suggest you for entry level, you focus on your core expertise, try to enhance it, add some experiences through the freelancing job, and see also if your gap, okay, you can show some positive enablers, like positive, like the statements, like at that time you are actually trying to prepare for the competitive exam, but you didn't actually click it, right? So like not every time is actually like a golden time for everyone, right? We have actually ups and downs, but that doesn't mean you don't have any opportunity, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So now I invite Mr. Raman Sahu to please ask the next question.
Hey, hi, Raman.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, Aman. Good evening.
Sir, I have a question about, sir, what is the most common mistake you see people at my level make that stalls their career growth?
So mistake, the mistake, miss, I won't say actually, see, what I would say actually, like career growth, see, this entry like means the beginning is actually half done, right? People have actually enough actually potential to do, right? But initial entry, people face actually the difficulties and problem, right? So, but we should not actually, we should not give up. So that's why we are actually like in this kind of the forum. I am encouraging everyone, okay, starting from today, you just think that you are doing a job, though you may not be getting the salary. You work for 10 hours, make your life actually discipline and make yourself ready for the job. Definitely you have to do a job, okay, so there is no other chance. And you create a passion, pick up a technology of your choice, work on that, introspect yourself, find out your strength and weaknesses, right? uh, Improve on your weaknesses, so as much as like that is possible, sharpen your strength, and just try your best. And this IT, once you make an entry, right? And if you start actually like, as I actually like covered, continuous learning and continuous improvement, that will drive actually the growth.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, recently I have got placed in TCS, sir, and I'm preparing for that, sir.
Perfect. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Deepika to please ask the next question.
Hey, hi, Deepika.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
So actually, I want to ask that generally, what obstacles do we face during our freshers days or when we start in a company?
Yeah, so obstacles in the sense, I would say actually, see, uh, so especially we all are aiming for a job, right? And people people might be demotivated, or like students might be demotivated when we are not getting the job or it is getting like delayed, right? But we should not worry about that. Okay, we just think like we should try our best to get it. Sometimes what actually happens, people might feel actually depressed. They stop actually learning, and that we should not. And we should actually understand, like we should be practical. Now, actually, see, everything is working in actually the demand and the supply, right? The demand is actually how many jobs are available in the market and how many the resources are coming out of the college, like in our like the market. So that actually the supply. So if we see actually like our supply is actually sometimes the demand is less and supply is more. So in that way, the competition is actually tough, right? So so I would say actually, so let's the same thing, continuous learning, introspect yourself, find out your actually the technology of choice and the kind of the roles that I have actually so explain you. You pick up your role, which that you want to go for. So like whether actually testing, development, or business analyst. So and then just try for it. So never give up.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Abhishek Tepriya. Please ask the next question.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I
Hey,
am
good evening.
currently, sir, my primary programming language is Python, and I am particularly interested in like data-focused roles such as data analyst and data scientist. Sir, my
Mhm.
question is, sir, how important is strong Python fundamentals versus learning multiple tools like Power BI, SQL, and machine learning libraries?
Mm. Hey, see, Python is actually like a kind of the new generation language, right? And Power BI, that is a tool. Power BI, that is the Microsoft Power BI, right? Power BI is a tool. So if you see, Python is a language, Power BI, that is a tool that you should know actually how to use this, right? You should actually understand like what is the functionality that Power BI actually provides, right? So it's a kind of a separate actually the learning and how what is the application that you want to build, right? How it can integrate with actually Power BI, so that you need that we need to like explore, research, fast actually do some the proof of concept. Once you know that, then you can start. See, like initially we may not know actually everything, right? So like our approach is try to understand the problem statement, right? If you understand actually the requirement or the problem statement, solution is not a big deal. If in our like the chat GPT or um, like all the artificial intelligence tool, so if you can actually ask also, they will give you almost like 80-90% accurate the solution. So you start actually creating a proof of concept, and that proof of concept will actually give you kind of a confidence. Okay, I am going in that particular the direction, and then you start actually like then you plan for the next steps. I think you are going in the right approach, right? So there should not be any issue.
Sir, I have another question. Like, sir, what kind of data science projects like actually impress like recruiters at Infosys or similar companies?
See, like as a fresher, okay, interviewer, they know that you are just come fresh from the college. Okay, they don't have much expectation that you should know actually each and everything. At least if you can impress them, you know actually data science, or you know the basic the building blocks, basic the terminology, basic the theory, basic the fundamentals of the data science. So that is really good. I would suggest you start actually projecting a project on the data science related actually project, and try to explain or try to teach your people so that you can articulate it properly in the interviewers place. It's like during your interview.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Aksaraj. Please ask the next question.
Okay. We'll have actually like the last two questions, huh?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
S.S. Pradhan from MCA first sem.
Yeah,
Sir, you
hi,
have mentioned 15 years of experience in IT field. Are there any specific emerging technologies you recommend us to explore now to gain a future advantage?
Yeah, so so to start, okay, so before that, what all the technology that you know now currently? Can you just tell me?
Sir, I know like basics level programming and
That's
some
fine. Uh, so tell me the names.
so like C, C++, Java, and something like Python.
Python. Okay. So these are actually the programming languages, right? These are
Yes.
actually the programming languages. I see but these this programming language is actually one part. So like whenever you are doing actually the project, right? So we need to do actually like the end to end. So as for example, let me just tell you, like I want to build the mobile application, right? In for building a mobile application or more like building a web application. So in your like everybody uses the mobile, right? Like and in your the mobile everybody has actually um, the applications. So the mobile applications, so for the Android the devices, okay, that can be written in actually the Android language, right? Android has a separate the language, and that they have also like the Kotlin. Android applications can be written also using Angular, okay, Angular. Android applications can be written also like in the React Native, right? And there are other the Xamarin, other tools are also there. And so this is actually to create actually the UI, right? Similarly, like your UI also need to talk to like the backend. So the backend, the services, okay, the service layer usually actually done created by the .NET technologies or the Java Spring Boot, right? Then, so that service layer, again, it extracts the data from the database. So database side, people might be using actually SQL or like Postgres. So all these technology so I can say like UI language, then there is the middleware language, and there is the database. So that actually comes as actually the full stack, right? So the current trend is if you know only one particular the language, that is fine. Okay, you can start with, but all of you should aim as a full stack developer, right? Full stack developer in the sense you can do it end to end, right? Once the artificial intelligence comes into picture, so that means you will get everything in your editor, right? So we should actually project ourselves as a full stack, but you should not think about now because you don't have that much actually time actually, right? You should yeah, I would suggest you go ahead with a primary language and understand actually the database, have some understanding on the cloud based technologies, as I mentioned, AWS, Azure, either one, okay, or the Google. And what else? And uh, some knowledge on actually the DevOps.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh, Thank you, sir. Sir, one last question from my side.
Mhm.
Sir, looking back at your own journey, what one decision or habit helped you the most in reaching your current position? Sir, I mean, any habit or decision that had the biggest positive impact on your career growth?
uh, uh, can you please come again? I just actually missed
Uh,
some line.
Sir, what one decision or habit helped you the
Uh,
most in reaching your current position? Sir, I mean, any habit or decision that, yeah, yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Good. See, like for me, actually, like I am a guy. I am not that great, but not that bad. Okay, I am an average kind of a guy, but I always maintain actually consistent, right? As I mentioned, like continuous learning and continuous improvement. So one thing is I like throughout my journey, it's like I am a consistent performer throughout, and I believe in punctuality. And I one stanza from the Bhagavad Gita that impressed me a lot. That is Karmanya Vadhikaraste Ma Phalesu Kadachana. Ma Karma Phalaheturvu Ma Tu Sangusta Karmani. Right. The, so that would be also like uh, one of our brother acts actually like the introvert and all. Right. You are like I should like so my attitude is like uh, the meaning of that sloka is you have the right to do the work, right, but you don't have the right to get the result, right. You may perform actually in the interview actually the best, but like you may not actually so get it. See, like from my experience also, few of the interviews I had, like 3 4 interviews I got rejected in the HR round, right. But one interview, like the interviewer didn't ask me anything, and he like selected me. Right? So, so, so in that way, what we should focus is keep doing your work in the best. Don't expect on your result, so that you will feel so much actually the conscious, and you will start doing actually the mistake. Right? Just continue the good work, and the result will follow you. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Okay.
much
So
for
yeah,
sharing your
yeah,
valuable time and sharing. Yes.
yes. So thank you so much. Really appreciate so all of you. At least we joined actually 80, but till actually 60 are there. I really appreciate
Yes.
also like all of your the valuable time, and wishing all of you the very best. Do well in your life. Thank you. Mm.
Thank you, sir. Have a great evening.